And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that lovely break, the Brutal OSC. We even had a bit of a mini documentary with Take. We saw Fort Jumi and a laser playing football, kind of. Playing a bit of football and of course having fun on the rooftop of it. Take TV's house of the HomeStory Cup. And welcome everyone, welcome to the beginning of Group B for HomeStory Cup 25, Day 1, the group stage. We're jumping into our first match of Group B. We're jumping into a PvP. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning, we have his opponent, we have the Yellow Protoss from land of Czechia representing Team Roddy. It is Sebesdes. Let's go. The PvP has begun and I'm ready. I'm excited. We are halfway through the night. We just wrapped up with Group A. Group A has concluded, and I should have actually wrapped this up a little bit, but the players making it out of Group A was Clem and Mana. Clem and Mana have made it out of Group A. Ryung did not. Ryung did fall to Clem. It went all the way to the ace match, went all the way to Game 3, but Clem did bring Ryung down. It did occur over on the main stream. And as a result, Ryung is out of the tournament. Mana advances on instead. So big win there for Mana, big win for the Polish scene. And now we're diving into Group B. Still a fresh group. After this series, we can go over the group itself. We can go over all the players. We can settle into what should be the remainder of the day. But now, 2-gate opener. It's going to be a 2-gate opener here from our Yellow Protoss player. Likewise, from our Blue Protoss, it's going to be a 2-gate opener. Likewise, no one is going for a max opener. No one is trying to rush into a greedy build. We're calming things down and settling into our series. And I'm excited. Again, I'm not really too familiar with Sebesdes. I'll be honest. I don't think I've casted him before. For those that may be tuning in for the first time, here on the CranKy Ducklings, we mainly focus on the Korean scene, on the Southeast Asian and Oceanic regions, the Latin American regions, and a bit of the Americas region as well. We don't often cast many European-centric events. That has been changing over the past couple of years. We have been covering events like Polish-only tournaments, like the House Galactic Battle, the House Open Cups, ESL Open Cup Europe from time to time as well. So we have branched out here and there, but we have to sleep at some point. I'm not sleeping here. Like, for those that are curious, it is 2:20 a.m. in the morning here in Australia. So, you know, my sleep schedule is ruined, which is why we don't usually cover European events. So if you could tell us a little bit about Sebesdes, a little bit about his play style, a little bit about his rise to prominence as well, and his joining of Team Roddy, let us know. You know, if you have some fun facts about our lovely player here, let us know. We are a lot more familiar with Gerald, just because, again, we cover a lot of Polish events, like LAN events and online weeklies and stuff like that. So we cover a lot of Gerald. He also is a regular in our tournaments. We cover less of Sebesdes. So again, let us know, as I'm unfamiliar with the player. But now we're settling in. It's going to be a double adept opener here out of Sebesdes. The pylon block will delay the expansion. Cybercore as well, so a big delay here for Sebesdes. Gerald back at home should be looking to expand himself. Is just waiting for a couple of extra minerals, a couple of extra resources. Hallucination Scout moving out. Gerald's going for a very standard economic opener with a Stalker into Sentry. Hallucination moving in for a Scout, and we will eventually expand. It's just going to be a bit delayed here as we're working through that Cybercore. So big delays. Hallucination dives in. We do confirm the Stargate opener. It's going to be an Oracle out of our Yellow Protoss player. The Oracle's going to be moving out across the map. Pylon goes down, and finally the Cybercore up. Ooh, we do not cancel. No cancel on the Cybercore. It's going to be a kill, so that is quite a bit of resources down the drain, but we're chasing the Oracle, hoping to shut it down. We're getting in position. Shield battery in the main base, and likewise, Gerald has a massive lead with his own Nexus. Now, what does Sebesdes have? What does our Yellow Protoss have? We have a bit of a ground army. We have 2 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, we have the Oracle as well. We do have a larger force to work with compared to Gerald's. We'll see if we can kind of bring this all together. The problem is that Gerald has a shield battery. Shield battery is now done, soon to be an overcharge as well. Gerald now has a 3rd Stalker. Going to be able to pick away at the army. We get within range of the shield battery. Oh, we can focus on the first Adept, and Sebesdes has to back off. At the same time, that first Oracle turns into double Oracle. With this, we can one-shot workers. A shield battery is not going to be good enough. We can get economic damage done in the main base. Alas, we have units in position, and we don't quite go for any damage. We don't activate the Pulsar Beam. Sebesdes does retreat, does back away. Doesn't waste any energy yet. There was maybe an opportunity as all the Stalkers, they come in. No! They're coming from behind, and the first Oracle goes down. Massive pick-off. We get the first and second will escape, but that's already a big loss for Sebesdes. Behind this, we're settling in. It's going to be a Twilight Council into Blink as a follow-up, but again, our base is delayed. Our tech of choice didn't pay for itself. We have yet to get any probe damage, and that means we are falling behind economically. In a mirror matchup, that's massive. That is a big lead here for Gerald. He's fanning out his Stalkers. He's looking for the eventual Oracle. He does miss it. The Oracle will come in from behind, does hit the natural, and we're going to get a couple probes. Not bad. 2 probes go down. 2 probes will fall. We can maybe get a third up. Oh, we barely will not get the third worker. As Sebesdes will back off. Likewise, we can see Gerald trying to cut off that Oracle. Coming in for a flank, and will Gerald catch it? Looks like we should barely escape. And we do get away. The Oracle does get away. Back at home, we're still working with 2 gateways. I say that we have a robo on the way. Sebesdes building up, but alas, Sebesdes does have some catching up to do at the moment, as the Oracle's going to be found. No! We found it! The Oracle will fall. Nice catch here by Gerald. He shuts down the Oracle, is expanding, taking a third base. The Stargate opener of our Protoss player, our Yellow Protoss, has yet to really, did not end up paying for itself. Did go down the gutter. We're taking a third as well. We're building up towards the mid game, going for the Forge, going for +1. Another gateway on the way. Gerald is looking solid here. Sebesdes, likewise behind this, catching up with his own third base, building up with its own Stalkers. What I will say, settling into the mid game, even though Gerald does have a lead, with Blink Stalkers you can outposition. There is a chance. There's a world out there where we can try to go for the main, we can go for the natural, we can bypass this main army, we can get behind it, we can outposition Gerald and get damage done. That is possible. So there are ways to come back in this game. Likewise, we can take up towards a Bay, towards a Dark Shrine. We can even have a handful of Adepts to come in and harass. There are ways to come back, but the pressure is on Sebesdes here to come back, right? It's on our Yellow Protoss to try to find a way to recover and to make up for some earlier losses that we have had. Say that third base not getting saturated, third base still getting underway here for Sebesdes. He is able to keep up in the worker count. Likewise, Gerald is moving out. Looking at the units tab, Gerald has, we're pretty even in Stalkers, as he is looking for a dive into the main. With the help of this observer, we can get vision of the main base. We can dive in and go for the pylon, go for some of the production. Sebesdes is out of position as we do not spot the main army. And we dive in. We go for the dive. We focus on the pylon. Pylon goes down. And what else can we get? The Cyber Core is under fire. And the Cyber Core, will survive. We bleed out a Stalker. Bit of miscontrol there out of Gerald. 1 Stalker is left behind. But again, we just keep Sebesdes pinned back at home. Keep him pinned, will keep him back. Behind this, Gerald settling in, building up towards his 3-base economy, working towards a gateway explosion, charge on the way, +1, immortal production as well. Meanwhile, our Yellow Protoss, as we come back in and we're going for the pylon, we're going for the Cyber Core. 1 more shot, it will go down. Big pickup. The last time will delay Stalker Warpins, it'll delay Adept Warpins, and we're going for Glaives. We're going for a very committed build here. Building up on 3 bases, building up Immortals, and working towards a Glaive Adept push. But that is going to be delayed. As Gerald rotates around, he has to dump the shield battery, will fall. This time, not bleeding off a Stalker. Gerald taking a 4th. And Sebesdes, with these Glaive Adepts, there's a lot of potential, not just to dive on an army with massive death, but also to harass across the map, get into mineral lines, whether it's the main, the natural, the third base. The Yellow Protoss will have potential here to counterattack with those Adepts, but we'll see if we can get there. And now Glaives is still in production, +2 as well. Upgrades are pretty neck and neck at least between both of our players. And when it comes to the Immortal counts, we are keeping up. We're keeping up with Gerald. The Immortal counts are looking solid between the 2 players. Big difference here is the divergence between charge and Adept play. So we are taking our 4th. Gerald's being active. We have plenty of chargelets already. Chargelets that do amazingly when it comes to just buffering for Stalkers and Immortals. As they close the distance, they allow your army to get so much more damage in. And we're rotating over towards the 4th. Sebesdes is in position. The shield battery is now done. And it's going to be targeted down. And shield battery will fall. Gerald does bleed out a couple of Stalkers though in the process. But that's a massive warp in. 4 more Stalkers, 5 more Zealots. And we're collapsing on the 4th. And this time there is no shield battery. Even with the base finishing up, there's not going to be an overcharge either. We dive forward, we focus out the Archons, we get one. And we're going to get the second. And that means the Zealots can reign free on the army. Yeah, we collapse on Sebesdes. He just is struggling to keep up. The Immortals are exposed to going down one after the other. And Gerald just coming in for the kill. Has to back up, but here come reinforcements. And more Zealots coming in. And it will cost us 12 probes here at the 4th. GG, Gerald will take game number 1. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Gerald. He, for the most part, was in control of the game. There were definitely some moments for Sebesdes, but yeah, it was just a really rough start opening up Oracle. Big delay in the natural, behind at the 3rd, and yeah, it was these small little increments here and there in favor of Gerald that he was able to just capitalize on. Whew. And now we're going to be settling into game number 2. Now, what I will say, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be catching up in the chat. I could be wrong, but is this the first offline event that Sebesdes is going into? Looking at the initial Oracle harass, it did feel like a bit of a mistake there to not get some probe kills. If you remember, it was when he dove into the main base mineral line and the pulsar beam didn't activate and the Oracle were just kind of flying over. It did feel like a bit of a slip up there, and I assume that some of this might be, whether it's nerves, whether it's again being an event like this for the first time. Let us know. First international event ever. So that is a factor. I don't want to bring that up too much, and I don't want to, you know, say like, oh, you know, nerves all the time, but especially in the beginning of game 1, it did feel like that. Now, what I will say is that over the course of the group and over the course of these matches, that's where you gain experience. That's right. That's where you get comfortable in this otherwise like foreign setup, right? Where you're not playing at home, you're not playing at your PC. And it is something that you need to get experience with, and that you get more comfortable with over the course of your career, over the course of all these games, over the course of these matches. And it did feel like a bit of a factor there in game 1, but we're settling into game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the yellow Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy. It is Sebesdes. Oh, let's go. Alright, I'll catch up in the chat, Matthew. I'll catch up. Because I know he's got a lot of fans in the chat. Oh, Lorimbo's in the chat as well. Let's go. Este Rainbow. When are you coming back to StarCraft, Papi? I haven't seen you in so long. Maybe it's better though. Maybe it's better. You know, maybe we're not smoging as much anymore. Always a good thing. Este Rainbow. Just catching up. As we do have our 2-gate opener here out of Sebesdes, likewise 2-gate opener out of Gerald. He likes to play Protoss, that's all I know. Thank you, Puppy, thank you. He's a young, cool player, really good standard macro. He likes macro play. Freshly 6K. Oh, let's go. Yeah, I do know that Rotterdam with Team Roddy, I think I heard him talking about it a couple of days ago, where his goal is to rotate players and to keep the roster fresh. And from my understanding, Rotterdam, his goal is to keep an eye out for up-and-coming players and talent and try to support them as best he can. I mean, he's been supporting Fian for quite some time, and a lot of these other younger players, like I think Cuckoo and Baby Marine, I think they had their own stints in Team Roddy as well. And yeah, recently I believe Sebesdes did join Roddy as well. I know Hydra was a part of Team Roddy for a while. So from my understanding, the goal of that team is to, you know, find some upcoming talent to support them as best they can. It's really cool to see that Sebesdes was noticed and even has the opportunity to compete here in HomeStory Cup. He took a year and a half to go from like 4.8 to 6K, which is crazy. Oh my god, that's pretty insane. That's a very, very big rate of improvement there. As we do have our pylon blocks from both players, from both Gerald and Sebesdes. Both going to be delaying each other. We do force a cancel on both pylons, and we can now expand. So this time, Sebesdes is looking a lot more comfortable. He won't be delayed his expansion for too much longer like he was in the previous game. We're able to expand. We're able to settle it. Yeah, I'm just catching it. Imagine improving at StarCraft. Oh, it's the Chase. What are you doing awake right now? Chase, it's like 2:30 a.m. and I'm in mid. Go to sleep, papi. Go to sleep. As it is going to be double Stalker as well as sentries here for Sebesdes. A very standard opener so far. Is going for his hallucination across the map. Does get a full scout. Does get eyes on the Twilight Council. At the same time, Gerald being a little bit more aggressive. Gerald skipped his instead oracles. He skipped his sentries and he went adept instead. Does threaten the shade. Does not quite commit. As he's going to be keeping tabs on Sebesdes, forcing him to just keep up with the shield battery, keep up with the wall off. There we go, Probe is in position. Meanwhile, Blink is on the way, Shade comes in. We do throw down the shield battery, so far so good. We're keeping up with the movement of Gerald. As Gerald throws down the Forge, so it looks like he wants to go for a gateway heavy composition, going for Forge, going for +1. We do catch a Stalker! Sebesdes does overextend, bleeding out a Stalker, throws down the force field, and does not catch the... Up! Up! Do we get one? Not quite. Meanwhile, in the main base, they went in! They made their way to the main base. Probes are going down. 6, 7. Soon to be 7 workers going to be falling in the main base. Gerald getting far too much damage done here. 8 probes, 9 probes falling. And likewise, I believe, did bleed out a Stalker at least. Lost 1 Stalker, lost the Adepts, and now Sebesdes, he has a counterattack. He is that much more committed. Back at home, what do we have? We have 4 Stalkers, we have soon to be a shield battery, and overcharge as well. Pushing into the natural, it's not going to be easy. As Gerald now has a solid worker lead. Not just a worker lead, remember, +1. +1 is on the way. His Stalkers will be superior to that of Sebesdes. And where are we going from here? Alas, still just Blink, still just trying to resaturate our bases, replace all those probes. Soon to take a 3rd. Speaking of a 3rd base, that's where Geralt is headed. And Sebesdes looking to do the same. But we have some catching up to do. Going for our own Adept harass. Let's go. Adept's threatening a shade. Oh, as Sebesdes moves out, Geralt moves in. The 3rd base gets thrown down. We're going to be forcing a cancel. We may force both players to cancel. The Adept's getting some probe kills. Geralt hits the 3rd. Likewise, so does Sebesdes. And do we get a cancel? Oh! Ooh, that's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. That's 400 minerals down the drain. We do get 4 probe kills. At the same time, Geralt will cancel his own Nexus. And he keeps pushing. Does keep on pushing. Heads for the main base. Goes to the pylons. Pylon's going to get shut down. Numbers just not in favor here of our yellow Protoss. We recall back home as the boys are being pulled. Yeah, just in time to defend. Sebesdes was pushing in. Gerald, he attacks. He does defend. And things are looking a little bit bleak here for Sebesdes. He at least denied the 3rd. That is true, but he did lose his own as well. Still down in those workers. And +1 is about to kick in. Again, that's going to be a big upgrade here for Geralt when it comes to those Stalker trades. And the Stalker fights. Once again, we're in a position where the pressure is on our yellow Protoss to get across the map, to slip into a mineral line, whether it's with the depths, whether it's outpositioning the army of Geralt. We need to get some damage done. Sebesdes picking away at the army, does confirm its location. I'm sure Sebesdes was maybe hoping that the 3rd base was more vulnerable, but we back off. Back at home, settling in towards 2 more gates, towards a robo. Should be for immortal production. Sebesdes does have the high ground, but does pull back. Geralt moving out. Oh, Adepts once again, they make their way to the natural. At the same time, Geralt pushing in towards the 3rd. Once again, a multi-prong attack here from Geralt. Probes are going down, getting 5 worker kills. Getting a 6th probe, 7th probe in the main. And Geralt, now he's going for the 3rd base once again. GG, as it just becomes too much to handle, and Geralt will take the series 2-0, starting things off with a win here at HomeStory Cup. GG. GG, well played. A strong showing there by Gerald. But again, Gerald is a very powerful Protoss player in the European region. When I think of the best players in Poland, sorry, the best players in Europe, the best Protoss players in Europe, I think of course, your Max Packs, your Showtime, your Skillus. They are, I would say, securely in top 3, but just under them, you have players like Gerald, Christianer, and Harston. You know, you could maybe you can shuffle them around depending on the day, depending on their form, but they are right under them. They're still definitely in the upper echelons of European Protoss. They're very strong players, and they're on the rise as well. And yeah, they're not easy opponents. They're definitely looking to make it into the playoffs, and definitely want to keep an eye on here in the group stage. Shout out to Sebesdes. This was, from my understanding, his first series at an offline event, or maybe his first series at this kind of this tier of offline event, and it's going to be a long day. What I will say is that if we are, you know, experiencing some nerves or maybe a little bit uncomfortable, then we can settle in, and I'm sure over the course of the day we're going to be getting better and better, and I'm hoping to see more of Sebesdes as the group progresses. Hoping to see more. Again, Gerald was not an easy opponent, and speaking of top tier Protoss players, it's not going to get easier. Up next, I did just mention him actually. It's going to be Sebesdes versus Skillus. Ooh, oh boy. Arguably an even stronger Protoss player here. Skillus will be coming up next in another PvP versus Sebesdes. Oh boy. Now, before we get into Skillus versus Sebesdes, what I will say as we refresh the brackets is that I believe Skillus might be mid-series. Yes, he's currently against Uthermal. Oh, okay. Skillus and Uwu Thermal, they are mid-series there in game number 2, but I think they're being covered by the mainstream. Yes, the mainstream is covering Uthermal versus Skillus. They're mid-series, so we will have to wait for the mainstream to wrap up. Oh, it looks like Uthermal's gonna tie it up 1-1. Oh, let's go. Uwu Thermal, papi. Oh my god, the Protoss fan himself. But they're going to the ace match. So Uthermal and Skillus are going to the ace match that is being covered by the mainstream. When that finishes, we're going to be following Sebesdes into Skillus. Just as a heads up.